Recently, we've seen an upsurge in the number of young people who are abusing hard drugs. While we have some people abusing prescribed or prescription drugs, the number of young people who take hard drugs is becoming alarming. And this has led to several mental cases for those who are actually roaming on the streets and those who are at home but then are mentally unbalanced. And so I have a journalist here with me who himself goes to the field and has first-hand experience of seeing some of these young individuals who, because of their drug addiction, have not just had mental issues. Some of them have been involved in several crimes because of this addiction. Sam, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here on the podcast. So we're talking about drug abuse in young individuals. What do you think is making it rise so much?
I think lack of good parenting is like the foundational cause of drug abuse. Well, it all starts in the family. Most persons that we think are behaving very well, they are behaving well because they were disciplined and well tutored from the family. So many people who are into drugs were never cautioned to not indulge in drug abuse or any illicit drugs. So I think as the days go by, we are experiencing bad parenting. It's as though people are only giving birth without seeing the need to teach their young ones, either their children or their wards, on how to live life with regard to drugs. So one major reason is because of bad parenting. Secondly, peer influence. I have a book I wrote, published 2018 or thereabout. It's about peer influence.
Okay.
You know, people relate, people interact, and so many persons have gone into, in this case, young ones have gone into hard drugs, continue to abuse drugs because their peers, because people their age in their families, either nuclear and extended, even in their rural communities, are into this particular, are taking these substances. Thereby, they also knowingly and unknowingly venture into drug abuse. So that's another issue again. The lack of sensitization on the part of government, both the local government, the state government, as well as the federal government. Yes, sometimes we see adverts and other publications, broadcasts, sponsored by governments, NGOs, and the rest. But how often do we go down to the rural, to the localities where people are abusing drugs? How often do we go to sensitize the people on the hazards of abusing drugs or any illicit substance? So I think we are not doing enough. If the government was doing enough, I don't think so many young ones will be obsessed or will be indulging in hard drugs. So these three are major factors amongst other reasons.
Okay, before we go into some of the byproducts of drug abuse, the consequences, there is this thing I see, a sort of glamorization of drug use. Some musical videos. Recently, I was at a program and the DJ was playing a song that a young guy sang, and they were saying, "I'm on Kolos, you are Kolos." I could not understand why someone would go into the studio. What does Kolos mean in the first place?
Kolos is one of the drugs they are abusing. I can't specifically say what they use in making it, but it's one of those substances that they
someone was singing, I'm on Kolos, you are on Kolos.
And the government is allowing such a music to be played.
It was played at a party.
Okay.
It wasn't on the airways. At least I don't know if it was on the airways. But how would young people come together, make music? We've seen music videos where the National Broadcasting Corporation had to bring down because they play these videos and they feature heavy smoking and nudity drug use. Yeah. In some cases, they show the drug use.
Yes.
So what would you say about these people who are supposed to be helping propagate the message of making sure these young ones are on the right track? instead making music and videos glamorizing drug use.
You recall I mentioned bad parenting,
Yeah.
a lack of sensitization or adequate sensitization on the part of government, peer influence. Another major cause is also the glamorization of drug intake by celebrities, musicians specifically. Virtually almost every music we have, not the gospel music, the secular music, you tend to see either the musicians or the people being featured on the videos taking drugs, binge drinking and whatnot. When you have that kind of scenario or situation, and young ones who are still at their formative years,
Very impressionable.
of course they will definitely learn one or two from it. They will want to do what they are seeing on TV. Imagine I'm a young person still forming my own personality. I see XYZ musician taking hard drugs, let's say Indian hemp. This is somebody people look
That's
up
marijuana.
to. Yes, people look up to. This is somebody people see as a celeb. So for this celeb to be taking this thing, maybe I'm 15-year-old, of course I would want to also test it. Probably every successful person is taking this thing, so I too I will take it. That's the feeling some of these young persons have.
So what are some of the consequences you have seen as a result of drug use among young people?
Okay, you from what I've seen and from what I've also read, I also have an experience which I think I will share subsequently. One is mental issues. Sometimes you tend to lose your ability to reason logically. Sometimes it also leads you into depression. Sometimes it gives you, it makes you to be confused. You don't even know where you are going to. You feel helpless. Then let's also talk about what about the damage on the liver, the kidney, and other vital organs in the body. It also makes you to have some kind of tooth decay and all of that. I think I've also seen. If you look if you look at some persons, if you look at their teeth, you know that it's not so clean. Why is it not so clean? It's because of the drug usage. So all of this.
Okay, can we dive into that personal question before we get to the advice you have?
Okay.
Ways that we can tackle this issue.
Okay. So many years ago, I think while I was in year 1, year 2 or thereabouts, you know, today I don't drink. Today I don't smoke. But I wasn't always like this. And that's why I'm passionate about talking about drug abuse, even binge drinking. Now, I was taking cigarettes. And I was like, this thing they eye me well. It's like I will take Igbo. But then I said, Igbo they make people mad. So why I know first they chew them, they drink them, they eat them first, so that my body will be used to it before I start smoking it. So I started eating it, taking Coscorin, like Indian hemp inside kai. Yes.
Is that not what they call monkey tail?
No.
Okay,
I think that's the one they call wisdom wine. Wisdom wine. Yes, okay. I started chewing it, doing all of that. So I was in one remote community in Nimbe, and something happened and I was depressed. And I was like, all the things I've been taking, they make me forget this particular thing. Okay, probably okay, before then I had taken it once or twice in Twombras. Then I was in that community and I was depressed. And before I knew it, okay, let me take it. I went to one of my friend's place. They bought one like that and I took it. After taking it, I went straight to my auntie's place to lie down. I was confused. It's as if I had 10 people in me. This one saying this one saying that. All the voices I'm hearing, they are saying illogical things, asking me to do unimaginable things. I had just one reasonable voice. What did I do? It will shock you. I ran to a church. I confessed that I been they do like this, do like that too. And today I took an Igbo that is beyond me. I can't control this one. As I'm talking to people, I want to go mad and blah, blah, blah. I confessed, rededicated my life back to Christ again, and it was okay. Since then, I think I've never taken Indian hemp. And because I wasn't taking Indian hemp again, I now went back to cigarettes. Because those days or those years, we always want to be high. Unlike now that we are enjoying being sober, no drinking, no smoking, and we like it like that. I'm not saying drinking is bad per se if you can drink moderately, but for drug intake, there is no point taking any kind of drugs. At least not illicit drugs.
But you are teetotaler. You don't.
No, I don't. Just first, I said, let me just.
So how did you
off.
stop the cigarette and the drink?
I took a decision. I can't say I prayed or something. I wouldn't want to see it from, take it like there was some spiritual. No, I decided that, okay, this thing is not good for my health. Even when I was taking cigarette, I used to take all these muposan and other drugs that believably cleanse my system upon taking whatever I had taken. So I said, let me stop. Let me not take something let me not use small money to buy something that will be destroying me, because I want to live long. Yeah.
So that was how you stopped?
Yes.
Now let's go to measures that can be taken to help young ones.
I think it's just for us to still consider the factors.
Okay.
I talked about bad parenting.
Yes.
Let there be good parenting. Parents, guardians, including teachers, people who are in the business of socializing or teaching our young ones how to be better in society, how to be better and be meaningful to society. Let us continue to tell the young ones that, oh boy, oh girl, this thing no good. It's no good for you. If the thing affects you, it will affect our family. It will affect our society. Please don't take it. Let's continue to hammer on the negatives of drug abuse. I think they are humans. They have naturally we have that consciousness to be good. That okay, this is good. We can discern this is good, this is bad. So if we hammer on the positives, if you do this, it will be good. If you do this, it will be bad. I think it will help. Good parenting.
Okay,
very important.
Now, this one can help to prevent the young ones from getting into drug. How do you help those who are already in it?
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if and how many rehab centers we have. I heard there is one in the Bayelsa Medical University. I think there is one at the NDLA facility too. I think there is one. That's what I've heard. But let's go beyond that. Let's have one that everybody knows that this is a rehab in Yinagwa. Since we are talking from Yinagwa, in Bayelsa, then let's also go down to the grassroots. Each local government area should have a center that we can take people who are obsessed with drugs, who are drug addicts, to go and learn how to stop. Give them the right medication that will make them to stop. Because it's beyond you talking to somebody. There's still a medical aspect of it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So your recommendation is rehabilitation centers in all the local government
areas.
Yes,
and sensitization. Okay, look now, check your WhatsApp. Although it depends on the kind of friends you have, of course, but we are friends to several different kinds of people, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. For some of us, when we check our WhatsApp statuses, we check our Facebook status, the newsfeed, and the rest, we tend to see our loved ones, even people who are not close to us, abusing drugs. You know, these days, the young ones, they are so obsessed with it that they want to advertise the bad things they do.
Oh.
Then they enjoy it. They want people to. I'm a bad girl. I'm a bad boy. I smoke this. I take cocaine and the rest. They want the world to know that they are doing this. So we need to carry the sensitization to the social media, because almost every young person is social media savvy.
Yeah.
So that's where they spend most of their time. So let's also take these messages, these strategic messages against drug abuse, to the social media space. It's very important.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you here on the podcast. And I hope to have you again, because we have so many issues bedeviling the society that we need to tackle on this podcast. And so there you have it. I've had Sam Dogitimi with me here on the podcast. Until the next one, bye-bye. Have a lovely time.